Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Coffee and Conversation with Bishop Harden. We're back with another one. I know many of y'all are waiting for the follow-up from the Bitcoin conversation, and we do have that coming soon. Should I say not just Bitcoin, it was a cryptocurrency. Young man shared some great tips on cryptocurrency, and matter of fact, I finally invested in cryptocurrency. I'm really excited about that, so he'll come on and share some more tips on that and how you too can start investing in cryptocurrency. But with that being said, I was led to interrupt that flow of conversation and bring in one that was my original reason for even starting, Coffee and Conversation with Bishop Harden. It was supposed to be Coffee and Conversation with Bishop and Pastor T, but my wife abandoned me. No, she had a lot of platforms that she were managing, and she knew this was my heart. I wanted to get a place to where my motto in life is now, I don't want to force anybody to do anything that they don't want to do, but I want to help everybody do what they're trying to do already. And so if my experiences can help you, I want that to be the case. So one of the most original things that I've experienced, I'm 40 years old now, and at 40, I'm finding out that I'm starting to make investments instead of purchases. As I make investments, that means that I have more things that is valuable in my life, and also I realize that some things in life I'm actually encountering that has legal repercussions behind them that I didn't realize before. Whether it's renting a home, or whether it's leasing a car, whether it's leasing a property. I'm doing a lot of things now that has more legal ramifications that is not just involving me and encountering me. It's involving others, whether it's my children, my wife, making sure they're established for the future. As I mature, I'm getting more invested. So I'm going to share a little testimony right quick. I brought a special guest on today who really helped me out in an area of my life. Her name is Christy White. Say hello, Miss Christy.
Hello, everyone.
She's helped me out in a very, very important part of my life. I'm going to kind of stop for a second, kind of go backwards a little bit. So about 2 years ago, I ran into Miss White. I've seen her around my community a lot, but she bumped into me, and she sold me on this legal program that she sells called Legal Shield. And at the time, I was young, and it's 2 years ago, right? I was younger, and I wasn't as equipped in some areas of my life that I am now. And so, and I've embarked into it, did it, but like most people, you'll start making small investments like that. It did have a monthly expense, and I asked myself, was it really something necessary that I got involved in? So I canceled a subscription, like your gym subscription or your, maybe a magazine subscriptions or whatever. I just canceled a subscription. That's money I can hold in my pocket. Well, fast forward about a year later, I'm in a home, Ms. White, and I'm leasing a home. My thoughts were I was going to lease forever. I was never going to buy a home, and we'll do another video on buying a home pretty soon, but I was never going to buy a home. Leasing was my best friend, because all the constructions or repairs were going to be somebody else's problem, not mine. Well, the worst nightmare of my life happened. Me and my wife decided to buy a home, and many people know that. We're in the process of building a home now. Me and my wife decided to buy a home, and we knew we had to downgrade, we had to move. And my relationship with my landlord was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Throughout the whole time, he'll stop in, he'll show around and walk around the home and, give me all his thumbs up until I decided to move. Till I started to move. And when I decided to move, he wasn't happy. He wanted me to buy the home. And so originally, you pay your first and your last month deposit, and you assume that first and last month deposit will absorb any incremental expenses that may come up at the closing of your relationship. That wasn't the case. Whenever I got ready to leave, he got angry, and your credit is important if you try to buy a home. He got angry, and he got very nitpicky, and he began to send me a ledger. This is a ledger here of all the things that I owed him, and I'll show you here. It was a total of $10,000, if y'all can see that, $10,000, and it blew me away because I was thinking my deposit was going to absorb it. It didn't. And he went to charging me stuff like for painters. He wanted me to pay for painting the home, to getting the home ready to be sold. He wanted me to pay for floor cleaning. He paid somebody to come in. Well, the painters was $2,400. Someone coming in to clean the floors was $500. Then somebody coming in to redo the lawn. And then he charged me $3,600 for his consideration were the incremental expenses. $900 for, it was another $1,500 for materials and repairs. $1,000 for labor and repairs. I mean, and all I can think about is I'm trying to buy a home. He's going to put this on my name and it's going to destroy me. I'm walking in Walmart, no lie, Chrissy White comes to my mind. She signed me up for Legal Shield. I never thought I would need it. I'm thinking it's going to take 6 months, 8 months to get back started. Didn't know what it was going to take. I called Legal Shield that day, and they said, Mr. Harden, if you pay your payment today, we'll get you a legal advisement first thing tomorrow morning. I was able to call the people the next day, submit this over to them. They reviewed it, gave me a letter, told me that I should prepare a letter. I prepared the letter, sent the letter over to them. They reviewed the letter, and then I submitted it to the young man. I came out only spending $3,000. That conversation saved me $7,000. And so I knew at that moment that this was special. This was something that people don't think they need until they need it. And I said, I need to allow people to hear my testimony. My name is clear. That's not on my name. They were reluctant. They hated it. But they was fighting me with a fear tactic. But I came to them with legal support that trumped their fear tactics that they put in my way. And so they knew I was trying to get a home, so they tried to push all this my way, thinking I would be desperate and try to make desperate measures to save my name. And I did take desperate measures, but it didn't cost me what they wanted to cost me. So Miss Chrissy, I had to share all that to set the stage for you because you brought me there. You helped me get there. So for those who are watching this live, who heard my testimony, can have a testament of themselves, or it made sense to them, kind of help us all understand why you got started in this field.
First of all, I am so happy to hear your testimony. I love hearing that because that's why I do this. That's why I share it with people, is because I know that we can get into situations that we don't expect. And yes. What are you going to do? And how many people have, maybe $5,000 sitting aside for a lawyer? It's not a lot of people have that kind of money just waiting for something to happen. So that's one of the reasons that I love it. So I'm so happy to hear that you say $7,000.
$7,000, my first swing at them.
Is that?
For real.
Lifetime membership.
That's why. Hey, I tell you one thing. I told my wife that day, we will never stop our monthly subscription because you never know when I'm put over the highway. I may not can afford waiting a whole day to start my membership back up. I need to get on the phone right now with a lawyer. I need some information right now. And they responded quickly. Every time they say they're going to call me back, they call me back. If I need an emergency, they would have dealt with things in an emergency. I mean, it's invaluable. But listen, if you're watching this live and you're thinking, well, I don't need that, well, you don't. But if you're watching it live and you've been through that experience, you wish you had that, it's time for you to get it. Because I promise you, if you went through it again, you're at a point in your life. If you've been through it once, you're at a point in your life, you're going to face another situation really soon. Because I've used them 2 or 3 times since. Because my maturity has allowed me to matriculate in arenas that I didn't before that causes me to need some legal advisement.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to back up a little bit and tell you why I really started, how this happened to me. And I thank God that it did, like you said. So 4 years ago.
Tell them who you are first. I think I jumped right into it and give them a good introduction who you are.
Okay, so I'm Christy White from captivating Cold Spring, Texas.
Go ahead.
And I'm a wife, mother. I am a city council member. I am very into the community, networking. That's just my passion. My passion is to give and be a giver and to help people. So this is how things have happened for me. And so, like 5 years ago, I started two businesses from the ground up. And, as being business owners, we look at those businesses as our babies.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I had two babies. One was in real estate and one was in networking. And so I had started having members, and I had written up this little I got the internet for the members to sign and stuff. And I didn't know what I was doing, but it was becoming profitable, and people were knowing that I was doing it because I was on social media. One of my cousins came to me and she said, Christy, who are you using for your legal situations, and who's checking out your forms and stuff? I was like, I'm so terrified right now. I was like, you have no idea. I'm doing all these memberships and I'm wondering, am I wording this correctly? Can people steal my business from me because I had them sign that they're a member? I don't want them to think that they're part owner,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she was like, okay, I have this. It might be for you. It might not be for you. But this is something that I know of. I was like, okay, I'll look at it. So it was a DVD. So that lets you know
Wow.
old school that was. So
Yeah, for real.
yeah,
Hey, can you believe DVDs are old school now, right? I feel like a really old dude.
I watched the DVD. It was about 20, 30 minutes. And after I watched it, I was like, I wonder, is this real or is this some kind of scheme? Because the price is just not even. I'm like, is this real? It's like ridiculous price. So I called her back. I said, of course, I want it. I need it. Period. I got the membership. Of course, I had to get the business plan also because I was in business. Called them, sent them over my membership papers that I was showing, giving it to people. They looked over my contracts, told me how I was doing things wrong, and, and fixed it.
Wow.
I took care of it. That was it, And once I was working my two businesses, for 3 months, and I called several times within those 3 months. And after that, I said, okay, yes, I would be telling people about this because I've used it. I know it works. So,
Yes.
of course, being Christy, I'm going to tell people about it. So why not get paid?
Exactly.
So that's when I started Legal Shield as a actual associate, and it's been lovely from there.
So I'm asking you a question. So you've used it, you sold it, you've seen people who gravitated towards it, gravitated away from it. What would you, if you were to try your best to explain to someone like me, because obviously it doesn't fit everybody mentally, even though it should fit everybody physically, everyone should get involved in it. Kind of share with somebody who was a perfect candidate for Legal Shield, and since you're experiencing the ups and downs, ins and outs of your engagement with people with this product.
Right.
So should I say, I won't say product, I say services.
Services, right. So I think the perfect candidate is everyone. If
Go
you
ahead.
wake up in the morning, you should have legal services because I'll just use my last time that I used Legal Shield. I bought a tiny house, and because you're all into these tiny houses, and I had electricity put in, and they were supposed to do 2 or 3 other little things that they didn't do that was in my contract. And so the lady that I bought it from, I had given her a card, of course, because I share Legal Shield with everyone. And I gave them like a month and a half to take care of the 2 or 3 little things that I had going on. And I was calling like we all do. You call and be nice, and are they coming soon and all of that. And after the month and a half, I called her and I said, do you think that we should call Legal Shield and let them write a letter or make a phone call to them for us? Because I feel like we have waited long enough, and this matter should be taken care of. she was like, "Oh, Miss White." I'm going to get on that right now. I am going to call him and let him know that you have been waiting entirely long enough to take care of all the little things. And no, we do not need to make this a legal matter. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Within an hour, maybe, he called me. He said, "Miss White, can we have someone come out and
Well, you know what? It's so funny because listen, I'm 40 years old. I'm proud of my 40 years of age, and so I've always wanted to say this statement. Let me talk to my lawyer about that. And to pay, I mean, a very minimal expense. You know, I'm really reluctant to say the expense because I want you to talk about the packages, but I'm gonna let you know the expense I pay. I think it's $24 a month to be able to say, let me talk to my lawyer about that, or you know, let me submit that to my lawyer and get them looking. I know they're not. Listen, the way Legal Shield work, and I'll let Mrs. Christie kind of explain to you more in detail how Legal Shield works, but the way they work that I found out, you know, they're not your personal lawyer. They're your personal law advisement company who can connect you with a lawyer. And then the lawyer expenses are very incremental. I mean, they help me write different documents that I needed for different things. Right now, I'm getting prepared to write my my will and testament. I mean, they prepared a couple different documents for me, sent me in the right direction, and listen, approve some. You know, even sometimes, even if that's what I loved about them, even if I didn't want to pay the cost that they charged to write my documents, they allowed me to write the document, submit it to them. They reviewed it and told me, yeah, this is good to go. Go ahead with this document. It's been very, very important. A couple of different times they said, you know, you need this, you need that. And I was able to call them, and they worked with me. And even with the letter that I submitted to the homeowner, and I looked online and found some verbiage to use, right? And then I put the verbiage together, and I made it sound real professional. And I sent it to them and said, "What do you think?" And they said, "Yep, everything you said in there is right." Just having that backing, having that extra set of eyes to know that I'm legally. Listen, this is very important. I'm legally, what's the word I want to use? Not required, but I have my legal rights. I legally have the right to this. And listen, a lot of times us as young people, especially young African Americans, we don't know our legal rights, and we will allow somebody with money to bully us, or someone with experience to bully us because we don't know our legal rights. And sometimes when you don't know how to fight, you fight the wrong way, and you lose the big fight because you won the small fight. You won the cussing match. You won the fist punching match, but you lost the financial match. You lost the leverage match. And and when you divert to the old way of doing things because that's the only way you know how to fight, the one who has money, the one who has experience may leave with a bloody lip, but they leave smiling. No, all you have is the victory of a physical battle, but they won the big war. And so that's the value that I gain out of this, that, I don't talk so much anymore. I let them talk. I let them spill. I take notes, and then I take it to Legal Shield and say, what do you think about this? And I come back with paperwork, not a push and not a punch. I come back with paperwork and say, this is what I think. And man, to see that homeowner look at that document and kind of just say, well, yeah, whatever you want, let's go ahead and just settle. I knew I had power. I had a backing support back there behind me. So kind of talk to people about how Legal Shield works. How is it structured?
Okay. So Legal Shield is a company that is over 45 years old. So we're not a baby company. We're not going anywhere. That's for sure.
That's valuable.
And it started because Harlan Stone Cypher got into a car accident. And he got into a car accident with a teacher. He was a teacher, and he got into a car accident with a lady that had a little money. And so it wasn't his fault. It was her fault. And he ended up spending all of his savings to fight it. And so that's where he said there has to be a way for the small person to be able to fight legally.
That's valuable.
Yes, and so um, because we have health insurance for when we get sick, you know, and then we have car insurance for the car.
Hmm.
What do we have for our legal rights? And so
Nothing.
that's how he started this. So to let you just know, Legal Shield is um, it will be covering you, your spouse, and up to 8 children in your household. That's one of the things that I love the most is that
So
it's
let's stop there, because I know when you first said that to me, it really didn't matter as much. But now, my daughter's gonna go to college. She's driving. My wife is doing a lot of things. So you say me, my spouse, up to how many children?
8.
8 children. How many families that have 10 children? Most of the average house in America has about 6 kids. So that means that no matter if my child is driving, she get into an accident. If she is at fault, still at fault. Say to say she is at fault. We now learn still our rights, because sometimes being at fault will put us in a place to where we feel like we still, at the discretion of someone else. Immediately, I train my child now to use your taser. I train my child now to don't walk around with your phone. Make sure you keep alert. I train my child now, and if you get into something, call Legal Shield. Those are 3 tips I call that I didn't do before. So I mean to interrupt you, but I want people to know that that's not just, oh, we cover your house. No, individually they may get into legal issues that you can't help them in. I never forget, went to court with my wife. I've always took myself to be my wife's savior. Like I'm Mr. King Kong, right? Whatever she go through, I got her. So we went to court. She had a ticket, one of her first tickets, and I went to the front of the courtroom with her. The judge says, "No, sir, you sit in the back." And I felt this big, that basically you nobody get back. I got her, and if she lose, she's in my hands. If she wins, she's in my hands. But no matter what, you have no control. I couldn't imagine doing that with my daughter. I mean, it was hard doing it with my wife, but I got 3 daughters. To now go in the courtroom and she's at the discretion of a legal system that I did not protect her from by getting her proper legal representation, not just a point of court lawyer. I'm sorry, Miss Christy.
Yes, but that's true. And one of the things that's great is it covers them until the age of 26, and they're living in
Wow.
old, and they're unmarried. Also, like our kids are going to college,
Yes.
so they're off at college. They're still covered because they're.
Wow.
I know. I was worried about that too because my kids were about to go to college when I started. And so it's just powerful because when they're in college, a lot of them go off, to college somewhere. So they're really not with you. And your legal right is not to call your mom.
No.
Your legal right is not to call your dad. I gotta call my dad. You get pulled over, or anything's happening. I gotta call my dad. No, you can call your lawyer.
Yep.
And so they're covered. That gives you a lot of peace of mind.
It does. It does.
Yeah. So it covers your. You can have unlimited conversations with your law firm. It's 24/7. So that means if there's an emergency after the law firm is closed, you can still call your law firm and have them there for you so you can, handle the situation appropriately.
Yeah.
I'll never forget, I have an associate with Legal Shield. She got pulled over at 4 in the morning. And who wants to get pulled over at 4 in the morning?
Not at all.
And she was like, terrified, because it is a scary feeling to get pulled over, period, especially at 4 in the morning,
Yeah.
even if you're not doing anything wrong or whatever. And so she was like, what do I do right now? And then she goes, oh yeah, call Legal Shield and just give it to Legal Shield, because I know I don't feel like I did anything wrong. I wasn't speeding, I didn't run a light or whatever. So she did. She called Legal Shield. They was on the phone. They told her, stay calm, hand the phone to the cop when he walks up to you. So as soon as he walks up, she does this. She just and he, of course he stepped back,
Yeah.
what is she doing, And she says, my lawyer's on the phone. He wants to talk to you.
Wow.
And he actually took the phone, talked to the lawyer, walked to the back, came back, okay, so gave her the phone. The lawyer said everything's okay. Go ahead and take care of everything he needs done. He said that it was just her tail light was out. But,
Gotcha.
nervous.
You never know. You never know. Yeah.
Didn't. And so the cop said, so what is this that you have that 4 a.m. you can call and get a lawyer on the phone? Because I'm a cop, like how you said, I can take care of my family, but my family isn't with me 24/7. I can't do everything for them, but they need this. So that's the beauty of the 24/7, is they're there for you.
It's valuable. It's valuable.
It really is. So you get the consultations. It covers you and your spouse. If you want to get a divorce, hopefully no one does, it's covered. It's uncontested divorce is covered. People are adopting kids more and more. We help you with that.
Wow.
I know, and I found out with this that it's so expensive to adopt children, but people want to help the kids, and so we're here to help them with that.
Wow.
So only thing with that is it takes 90 days to with you having the membership for those things to kick in. Like with the regular membership, it kicks in instantly, like as you know, and as you were talking about. We help you with motor vehicle things, so you get a ticket. Like myself, I'm so embarrassed, but I used to get a lot of tickets when I first got my car, and my husband fuss at me because, of course, insurance and everything. So now I take a picture of it, send it off to my law firm, and they call me back within 4 to 6 hours, tell me the best thing to do to not get the points on my records so my insurance doesn't go up. And best of all, my husband doesn't know about it.
That's good. That's perfect.
He doesn't know because I've already taken care of it. The insurance doesn't even know that I had the problem, So that's another thing that we do. If you are being sued, like you said, not if you're suing someone, but if you are being sued, you get 60 hours of court time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with your membership. I know you probably hadn't noticed that because how many people get sued? But
I haven't got sued yet. Hopefully I get a chance to, if anything happens, that we get legal shield to handle it outside of court.
That's right. That's another thing. We try to do it outside of court because we're really not a company that we want to sue people. That's not what we're here for. We're here to help you in case you get into something, someone comes to you. So 60 hours is covered. And I'm at like 300 hours now.
Wow.
But, so it keeps going up every year. And anything might happen. So now you're not afraid when people are like, I'll sue you.
So go ahead. That's something that was funny too. Whenever I was going through that situation with the home and they was telling me they was going to sue me because I breached contract or whatever, this was funny. This was so funny. It backfired on because I had legal shield. I never forget. I was traveling for work, and I just so happened I always scan all my documents, whether it's contracts or whatever. I always scan them and I put them in my Google Drive. So no matter where I'm at, I have access to them at any time. So I was called. She said, "Can you email me that over to me so I can look at the contract?" So I literally emailed over legal shield my contract, and then she called me back the next day and laughing. I say, what's wrong? Well, she told me that she was gonna call me. She called me and we talked about it. She said, I got a problem with this contract. They use an illegal contract to write your lease. They use a lease off of online, and the only people that can use this lease is this company. Your whole lease is literally a voided contract. Obviously, you was there for a long period of time, but if you want to, you can actually fight them that this contract isn't even they unlawfully use a contract that's copyrighted to another company.
Wow.
Never would have knew that.
That's the beauty of it. You don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yes. So, lastly, in the membership, like you were talking about doing your will. So we all need our will done. Even if you're not a millionaire yet, you but you have assets that you would like to go to your family instead of the state.
Yes.
And you don't want people fighting over anything, you know, fighting over daddy's ring, really.
But say that again, though. You say you want this to go to the family instead of the state. That means that if you don't have a will, your family don't get access to it. Who is the state? When you say the state, can I explain that?
Yeah, it goes to whatever state that you're in, because it's not you're gonna have to do a huge fight over the property, over the cars, the land. Everything is a huge fight because there's no documentation saying
right
stuff is supposed to go. So,
wow.
You can end up spending more than the house is even worth trying to get the house,
That's important.
And so, and two, I've heard so many people have called me after their family member has passed away, didn't have a will, and somebody told them, you know what, you should call Christy White because you need to get your stuff in order, because the family is in an uproar over everything because there wasn't any kind of documentation. So what does is you and your spouse get your will done or redone for free. It's just all you have to pay for is any court fees or anything like that. You have to get it notarized and stuff, but it's gonna save you a good $1,000 for both of you guys.
I'm ready. We like I say, we're building a home right now, and we have property that was gifted to us, and we have, like I say, all kind of other things we're doing with our business, and that's another thing I'm about to get involved in with you, because my business is getting off the ground and running, and we run into certain liabilities as an organization that we want to make sure that we cover legally and with insurance to make sure that the insurance will cover the expenses, while the legal will make sure that we supposed to cover the expenses. So I'm at 40 years old. My eyes are opening up. I can see clearly now. My youth is gone, because I wasted a lot of time, didn't really focus on some things, and now I'm seeing the importance behind why we do what we do, and why, others. I want to leave an inheritance to my children, not debt, but also I want to make sure not just a financial inheritance. I want to leave a mental inheritance, so they now won't wait as long as I did to get legal representation. They won't wait as long as I did to settle down and not make certain decisions. So this has been invaluable. But carry on. I know you have more you want to share.
Yes. Okay. And lastly, with Legal Shield, with that part of the family, this is the family part that I'm talking to you about, is if anything that comes up in your legal matters, we still give you a 25% discount if it's not covered with your plan, with the plan that you're paying for. So, and people think, oh, it's just 25%, but my husband and I use Legal Shield and got the 25% discount, and we saved $3,000.
That's worth the 25%.
I think it was worth it. It was still worth it. I mean, it adds up. Legal costs add up. So there's nowhere else that you can go and get. You can call a lawyer and say, "Hey, do you have a coupon for for 25%, 10% off anything?" So we want to help you. That's what we're here for, and so that's why we give you the extra 25%. On our other side, we have ID Shield, and ID Shield is to cover our identity. So many things are being breached. All these companies are being breached. We've given them all our social security numbers and everything else that we have, and they're being hacked. And there's nothing that we can do about that because we are not running those companies. But what we can do is
protect ourselves.
Get protection. And so we protect your driver's license, your medical records, and insurance, which I thought about. Who steals somebody's medical insurance so they can go to the doctor? Who thinks about that? You
Don't
know,
think about it until it happens.
until it happens. And they do that because they don't have it. And so when you go to the doctor and you need to get blood work done, they're saying, oh no, you already got blood work done. That person has a whole nother different system from you and everything. So now you got to prove who you are so you can get your medical treatment done. You know.
And the
So
bad part about this, even for me, I pay for Legal Shield. I haven't paid for ID Shield, and I need to, and I will, because I've heard of people having identity theft, and they didn't need, they didn't have legal protection over their identity until after they got the identity stolen. And so I'm telling those who are watching, be like me. I'm gonna talk to her really soon about signing me up, because I need this. I need it quickly, because I am getting my records out there more. Go ahead, Miss Kristen.
that's true, and that's what I thought about too when I signed up. Is my name is going to be out there more. I'm going to be talking to more people. I'm going to be on social media, so that makes you a target.
Vulnerable. Yep.
So, sadly to say, but your social security number. We give it to so many, like I said, your medical records. You give it to if you're buying a house, your credit. It's out there. So we're gonna protect that. Your children's medical records, your children's social security numbers. We don't check their social security numbers until they're 16 or so, when they're going to college or when they get their first little job, and it could be horrible. Their credit could be horrible because someone has stolen it.
You're right. Didn't think about that.
Yeah, and I didn't either. But you have to be a criminal to think about what it. And so, but your credit cards, we're gonna cover your credit cards, and then too, what I've been really liking is we cover your social media to cover your character. And because that's all we really have is who we are, our brand, and so you don't want anything out in the world saying that, to taint your brand.
Yeah.
So we cover that also. We give you a $5 million guarantee. We make sure that if anything were to happen, that we're going to get you back to normal.
Wow.
We're not going to put all this extra money in your account or anything, but we're going to clean up your record, and that's a lot right there.
Never thought about social media identity theft and them ruining your name, and somebody needs to go in there and clean it up. That is valuable.
Yes, and then too, your brand is everything nowadays, because people can Google everything about you, and you don't want someone to have gotten pictures of you and put things on there, making memes or whatever they're called about you, and you not know about it, especially in the field that I'm in. I have to protect who I am and all about. So and then your children too, they need to be protected, because when you go to get jobs now, they are actually looking at your social media. They're looking at your credit score, all of that. So
yes, they are.
Yeah. So who's covered with this? So when you get a family plan of ID Shield, you are covering you, your spouse, and up to 6 children with under the age of 18.
Gotcha. So at 18, they got to buy their own policy.
They buy their own policy. And that's because, at 18, most people are out in the world. They're doing their own
thing, their own thing,
their own stuff. They, and all of that. So yeah, we're going to be letting them get their own, and we cover the 3 boroughs. To track. We're tracking all of that. They're open 24/7. So if anything were to happen, you need them to cut off anything or whatever. 24/7, you call them right then. I lost my wallet. Or anything, and they're calling you too. They've called me several times and said that, we think that you might want to check this, and if anything were to happen, they take care of it for you.
Do they also track your credit score? Like, because I have right now, I have a thing called Identity IQ. I've been paying for. I need to get rid of them and get this. And if because right now I'm really big on my credit score, and building my credit score. My credit score has gone from a very low number to a pretty high number now, and I don't want nobody to mess that up. I mean, I think I'll go to jail behind my credit score right now.
Because we don't think about that when we're young. But as we get older, we think about that. It's like that's an important number because, like you said, you're in business. You want your credit to look right. You want to buy a home. You're buying cars. It's just a lot to do with your credit. But yes, we all three. We're monitoring all three, and you get to see your score and everything.
I'm gonna. How much is for me to sign up for the identity today?
The family plan, which you would obviously get, is $24.95.
We need to. I'll tell you what. We need to talk. Let's set up some time. Hey, on the video, this is a sidebar. We need to talk. So I got to get that signed up because it's very necessary for me right now, and to hear that it covers my children too. We got to get together.
Okay. The last thing I'm sharing is the pricing for it. So
go ahead.
For Legal Shield to cover your family is $24.95, and that's you, your spouse, and up to 8 children. Then there's ID Shield, the family plan is for the 3 boroughs is $29.95. Then there's the ID Shield for just like when you have the 18-year-old, the individual, it's the 3 boroughs, is $15.95 for that person. And then the Legal Shield and ID Shield family plan together is $54.90. And then the Legal Shield, ID Shield, just for individual, like the individual get the Legal Shield plan, the ID Shield plan, is $40.90. So those prices alone can let you know that it's affordable. We're not in business to gouge, to put someone in debt, trying to have legal services. We are truly here to help the community.
Now, I know I want to get the business perspective, but is there a discount if you include your business as well?
It is actually. If you do it as a employee benefit for your employers, then we give you a nice discount on it. So
I tell you what, we got to get together. We're gonna get together on another video on the business perspective.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on. This is what I love to do: is share, and help somebody.
Well, thank you. How does someone contact you? If you can't share your contact information right now, if someone wants to contact you and sign up today.
So you can call me. My number is 936-777-5323. You can email me at Christie, CHRISTIES, help 999@gmail.com. Or you can go to my website, and it is christiewhite.ladiesofjustice.com.
So, go ahead.
Yes, because we're Ladies of Justice. That's my team, and we're just here to help everybody.
Well, I thank you so much, Ms. White. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for helping change my life and making a major impact. I thank you for helping change those who watch this video, and I really pray that some of you who have watched this video today, you take it into strong consideration. Once again, I never ever would try to force anybody to do anything. I only share my experiences, believing that if one person is changed by what I've gone through, you won't have to go through it. Thank you so much for joining Coffee and Conversation with Bishop Harden. We love what you're doing, and keep doing what you're doing. Have a blessed day.
You too.